All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. We're talking about the Pittsburgh Steelers. I cannot believe the season ended the way the season ended. They've had such a good defense for so long. Russell Wilson had such a great start to his Pittsburgh Steeler career. Justin Fields leads the way, goes 4-2. Pittsburgh's 4-2, a quarter of the way through, a third of the way through the season. Russell Wilson gets fully healthy. He comes in here, starts his Steelers career, goes great. Pittsburgh's riding high. They got like a 2-game lead in the AFC North. The AFC North with Baltimore and Cincinnati. Pittsburgh's got a 2-game lead. There's like 5 or 6 games left in the season. What do the Pittsburgh Steelers do? Well, we all know it. It ended with 5 consecutive losses, none of which the Pittsburgh Steelers scored more than 17 points. This thesis should be Russell Wilson or Justin Fields this upcoming season. Keep in mind, both of them are free agents. Should not be Russell Wilson in any way, shape, or form. I'm not enamored by the idea of Justin Fields, but I think it's 100,000% worth the shot. And I'm going to explain to you why. And it's not rocket science. Russell Wilson's going to be 37 in 2025. I actually think he did a really solid job all the way up until the final month of the season. 16 touchdowns, 5 interceptions, 2,500 passing yards, a 95.6 rating. They were winning games. He wasn't turning the ball over. This Pittsburgh Steelers team averaged 319 yards per game and 22.4 points per game, both of which are drastic improvements from the 2023 season with the trio of quarterbacks, most notably Kenny Pickett starting the season and Mason Rudolph finishing the season. Now, folks, before we get any further in this video, hit that like button, hit that sub button. Also, shout out to our sponsor, BetUS. You can claim your 200% sign-up bonus over on betus.com/casino. But this is what Pittsburgh needs to do, all right? Well, in my opinion, they need to build around Justin Fields, at least for one season, because, folks, the other alternatives don't really get me going. And Russell Wilson also doesn't really get me going. When we look at the basics here, the fundamentals, the Pittsburgh Steelers averaged 22.4 points per game. That's dead even, dead middle, 16th in the NFL, right? Now, rushing yards per game, they were 11th, averaging 127.4 rushing yards per game. Najee Harris, more than likely gone. Jalen Warren, still Pittsburgh Steeler. I would anticipate Pittsburgh to make a move, whether it's the draft or free agency, for another running back. But here's where things really get me going. The Pittsburgh Steelers averaged 5 yards per play this entire past season. That's 25th in the NFL. Now, just for some context here, the Tennessee Titans also averaged 5 yards per play. Sorry. That's not good. The Tennessee Titans have the number 2 overall pick in the draft. Now, I get it. It's not the end-all be-all stat. For example, the Kansas City Chiefs averaged 5.1 yard per play, but they also have Patrick Mahomes, and the Pittsburgh Steelers do not. But even just zooming out real quick, since Minkah Fitzpatrick came to Pittsburgh in 2019, the Pittsburgh Steelers have finished with a top 10 scoring defense in 5 of 6 seasons. They've been 6th or better 3 times over that span, 2019, 2020, and 2023. Yet they've had no playoff wins in way too long. For the past 3 seasons, the Pittsburgh Steelers have employed the NFL's highest paid defense, and they're once again scheduled to in 2025. So the defensive window is shrinking. As the seasons progress, it's shrinking. Now, they're doing a really good job at evaluating, drafting, and bringing in talent. Patrick Queen didn't really work out this past season, but I'll be patient with that, but they drafted guys like Herbig, right? Peyton Wilson, Joey Porter Jr. in the last couple of drafts. So defense, they have really expensive guys like TJ Watt, who probably is going to be hopefully a Pittsburgh Steeler for life here, but he's getting older. And they've had such a good defense for like 5-6 straight seasons, but no playoff wins. So something needs to change. And as much as I loved Russell Wilson, well, when you don't score more than 17 points in your final 5 games, that's it for me. And when you're about to turn 37 after ending the year like that, that's enough for me. So the point is, in the draft, there's only 2 guys really, and they got a late first-round draft pick. There's really 2 guys that most draft scouts think are going to be those dudes, and it's Cam Ward and Shedeur Sanders. And those guys 100% will be selected in the top 5, and Pittsburgh 100% is not trading into the top 5. So that's where Justin Fields come in. right? Now, according to Pittsburgh Post-Gazette Steelers insider Gary Dulac, the team is more interested in retaining Justin Fields than they do looking at names such as Aaron Rodgers, Sam Darnold, Daniel Jones, and Kirk Cousins. And he had this quote, "What's more, any of the top quarterbacks who are expected to be available in free agency, like the players we just mentioned, do not appear to be interested in the Steelers more than what they have in Justin Fields." Now the Steelers are entering 2025 with plenty of cap space. We don't know the official NFL salary cap right now, but the Steelers are projected a little bit over $40 million in salary cap space for this offseason. And you have guys like Preston Smith that you could just cut or release by a certain date, save a bunch of money. You could extend guys like TJ Watt, save a bunch of money long term or short term. And there's just ways to get that number way higher. But the point is, they're not drafting a quarterback in the first round, most likely. They're not signing a free agency in or a quarterback in free agency unless his name's like Justin Fields or Russell Wilson, more than likely. And they have plenty of cap space. So they could draft a wide receiver in the first round. I think they should definitely draft a wide receiver at some point. George Pickens entering a contract year. This is going to be a big season. And I won't tell you Justin Fields is by far the future here. But the good news is he's only 25 years old. By the start of next season, he'll be 26 years old. And I just think it's time to switch it up. Arthur Smith appeared, I should say, to have preferred Justin Fields. But apparently, as we know, and doesn't come as a surprise, Mike Tomlin's got most of the say. Ben Roethlisberger said Mike Tomlin's got most of the say over in Pittsburgh. So if Arthur Smith wants Justin Fields, I think Justin Fields should be the answer for at least this upcoming season, because you look at it like this. If it works, it works. And now you have your franchise quarterback who's only 26 years old, right? If it doesn't work, well, here's a top 15, more than likely top 10, top 10, top 15-ish draft pick. And you can figure out the future there, whether it's drafting a QB in next year's first round class, or if it's, trading for a quarterback because you've had it, or signing a free agent quarterback in free agency because you've just had it. The point is, Pittsburgh has a lot of options technically, but none of them are really enticing except for, to me, Justin Fields being the starting quarterback for the Pittsburgh Steelers for the 2025 NFL season. Now, that's just my opinion here, because I do have some hesitations about Justin Fields specifically. Russ had a really good deep ball. He was one of the best deep ball passers in the NFL, and we saw the connection with George Pickens. Justin Fields also likes to spray it. He can be maybe a little bit more erratic. He can fumble the football, maybe a little bit more turnover prone. But in the 6 games he started for Pittsburgh at the start of the year, where they went 4-6, that's enough for me to build around him for at least one season to see what's really in store with this Pittsburgh Steelers team. I'm curious to hear what you guys have to say about the quarterback position. So let me know down below who you think the week one quarterback should be for Pittsburgh down below. But hit that like button, hit that sub button for daily NFL content. We'll see you with another Steelers video in the next week or so. But that's it from me. Peace.